Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Lindsay and I'm bringing content on clean beauty and skincare. Today's video is going to be really fun. I'm going to put two foundations to the test. I do have a full review of both of these foundations. I'll link in the description if you guys are interested in those individual videos. I'm really excited to compare these two, so let me get into it. Alright, I got my hair back. We're ready to go. Let me hop into some details about both of the foundations. So first off, the Gressa Minimalist Corrective Serum Foundation retails for $62 and it comes in 8 different shades. And I'll read you the description it has on their website. It's a serum, it's a foundation, it's a revolution. This fluid to velvet formula delivers a veil of weightless coverage like nothing you've ever seen. Raw mineral pigments are combined with the Gressa Healing Complex, our proprietary blend of botanical extracts for overall balance, radiance, and clarity with a buildable, flawless finish. The directions, it says to shake well and then mix 2 to 4 drops in the palm of your hand and rapidly spread the serum on areas where most imperfections are found. Use the air focus brush to flawlessly buff the product all over. Now I don't have the brush, so I am just going to use my fingers with both of the foundations. And if you guys want to read the full ingredient list, I'll link it below, but the first ingredient is broccoli seed oil, coconut alkynes, some mica silicon dioxide, the Gressa Healing Complex, milk thistle, just a few other botanical ingredients. The shade that I have is 01, which is described as a warm porcelain pale shade with subtle yellows. This is the lightest shade that they have, I believe. So Gressa also offers a minimalist illuminating serum. I like to mix these two together when I use them or use this as a base. I'm not going to use this today just for the sake of comparing the foundations against each other, just themselves. So let me get into the application of this. I'm going to shake it really well and then apply a couple drops into the palm of my hand like they said and put it on my face. So first off, I really do like that this comes in glass packaging. I'm not a huge fan of the dropper, but I do like how you can get a controlled amount with it out because it is a liquidy consistency. So with any other packaging, I feel like too much could come out too quickly, but I do like how you can just adjust however many drops you want in the palm of your hand. Find that the edge of it does get pretty messy if you don't clean it up. So that's one downside to this packaging, but I do like the packaging, really minimal, really sleek, and it's glass, which is great. I feel like I do have to shake this a lot. So I'm just going to start with 2 drops since I'm only doing half of my face. And then I'm going to put it on this side of my face right here. As you can tell, it does have very yellow undertones. So as you can see already, that was crazy pigmented and that wasn't even 2 drops. That was just 1 drop in the palm of my hand. It covers a ton. It definitely has more of a matte feel to it compared to the Kosas one. Forgot to mention, but I did prep my skin with the Ursa Major Golden Hour Recovery Cream. So I would definitely recommend putting on a good moisturizer before putting this foundation on, just because it can be a little hard to blend out. It is definitely a thicker formula, and if you have any dry spots at all, I find it does cling to it a little bit. So make sure you're well exfoliated before you use this foundation. I'm just going to go over it a little bit with a brush just to blend it out even more. So right now this is honestly looking like a really satin matte finish almost. If you have oily skin, I think this would be really good. Like I said, if you do have dry skin, make sure you're well exfoliated or else it can stick to that. This color is definitely a little light for me, but with bronzer I feel like it looks fine. I probably could have gone up a shade, but I think it looks good for now. Just one side of my face with the Gressa foundation. Next to the Kosas Tinted Face Oil, they have 10 shades of this foundation, so they have a bigger shade range, and it retails for $42. The description on the website says, makeup meets skincare, radiance boosting botanicals absorb, allowing skin perfecting pigment to even and illuminate complexions, a featherweight medium coverage foundation, and deeply hydrating skin elixir. Apply freely. So I have the shade 03, which is described as light with neutral undertones. So a really cool thing about their shade range as well is that 10 shades have been optically blended, making it wearable for over 30 different skin tones. So it is really cool that this will adjust to your skin tone, and I feel like when I used this previously, it actually did. When it was a little bit tanner, it did get a little bit darker, which was crazy. I'm going to shake this up and then apply it with my fingers. Oh, before I start, I do really like this packaging. I like how it comes with the squeezer drop. It's a little bit cleaner than the Gressa one. I do find it can come out a little bit fast if you're not careful, but I do like how this is a lightweight, slimmer design, but it is plastic, so I always prefer the glass more. But I do like how it has that ball in there so it can really mix the pigments well. So let me mix it up and apply it on the other side of my face. So I'm just gonna do about the same amount as the Gressa one, so like 2 drops. So as you can see already, it is definitely a lighter coverage, but I feel like it blends in a lot easier. So here is the Kosas Tinted Face Oil, and this side is the Gressa Serum Foundation. As you could tell, the Gressa one, they had a lot more pigment in it, so it was a little harder to blend out. As far as how they look, the Kosas one definitely looks more natural to me. I find that this one kind of clings to my dry patches a tad bit, and it's definitely more of a matte finish. The Kosas one, I would just say, is like a natural satin matte finish. So I am noticing around like the dry skin on my nose, the Gressa one is clinging a little bit more than the Kosas one. So I would say pros to the Gressa is that it has more coverage. Cons is if you have drier skin, it might cling to those patches and it's a little harder to blend out. The Kosas one is a little bit lighter coverage, but it is easier to blend out, and I feel like it feels more lightweight on my skin. As far as consistency goes, the Kosas Tinted Oil is a little bit more liquidy than the Gressa one. Try to show you the shade difference. This one is the Kosas Tinted Oil Foundation, and this is the Gressa Foundation. They're very similar in shades. Again, this is the 3rd shade in the Kosas Foundation, and the Gressa one, that is the 1st shade. So I just did a 2nd layer of both, and as you can tell, you could definitely build these up to a more fuller coverage. Like the Gressa one, you could go crazy full coverage if you wanted to. And then with another layer of the Kosas, I feel like it gives me a really good medium. Again, they both look very skin-like. Unlike most people think of oil foundations, they think they're going to be oily, but both of these set to like almost a full matte finish. Gressa one is definitely more matte, and it depends how you prep your skin. If you use an oil, obviously it's going to be a little bit more dewy. And the Gressa one sets to a satin matte as well. And when I touch my face, neither of them come off on my fingers, which is a really cool thing. I mean, there's no transfer that I notice. I set my foundations with a powder anyway, but if you're worried about them transferring, honestly, do not even worry about it because they do not. I love both these foundations so much. It's really hard to choose which one I would like better. I feel like it's like what occasion I'm going for. If I want more full coverage, like the Gressa one is nice, but the Kosas one is perfect for everyday wear and people who are on the go. So yeah, I'm loving both of these. Let me finish up my makeup and then I'll give you my final thoughts. For my concealer, I'm going to be using the Cloven Hollow. I think it's their Conceal and Correct concealer, something like that. I don't know, it's the only concealer they have. If you're curious, I have the shade 02, and I feel like this is definitely light enough. It has more of a, I don't know if it's, yeah, it has a little bit more of a peachy undertone to it. You can see it right there in my hand, which I think is really good for under eye circles. I'm just gonna go ahead and do that under both of my eyes. This concealer is the best. It's definitely my new favorite. It does not crease on me at all, which is crazy because most concealers usually crease under my eyes, but this one doesn't. It feels really lightweight. It's not too much coverage, but still gives you enough so that it covers up anything you want it to. Blends out well, doesn't disrupt foundations, it's not too oily. Next, I am going to set my face with the 14E Cosmetics Aloe Nourish Powder. I really love this powder. It's super matte without being drying, which is what I love about it. Just take it a little bit in the lid, and I'm using a Kat Von D 25 brush. I really like the shape of this. I'm not going to set my whole face, but I am just going to do my under eyes and the areas I get oily, so my chin and on my nose. Next, for my bronzer, I'm going to use one of my all-time favorites. This is from Han Cosmetics, their Malibu Bronzer. This is a super affordable, vegan, and cruelty-free bronzer. I'll link it below for you guys. They also have a couple other shades. Formulas are really great. They blend easily, and it smells like chocolate, which is cool. I just put this around the perimeter of my face, and if I feel like I'm looking a little pale, I'll just put it like all over. Next for blush, I'm going to be using something from the same brand, Han Cosmetics. This is their baby pink blush. They also offer great blushes that are affordable. I have a couple different shades. This one's just a really pretty matte baby pink. This color's really good if you have pale skin and like don't like how most blushes look on you, because like I'm pretty pale and I feel like most blushes are just like way too dark, but this one's really light and it's not super pigmented, so it doesn't make you look crazy. It just gives you like the perfect amount of flush. Onto my highlight, I'm going to be using the Adorn Cosmetics Mineral Illuminizer. This is something I also got off of Petit Vour, so it's vegan and cruelty free. This is a really pretty like pinky gold shimmer. I've used it in a video before. It just comes in a loose form, so you have to be really careful with it. Just take a little bit on my brush. I really love this highlighter because it's not too strong, but you can build it up to be like of a bang highlight if you want it to. But yeah, it's really pretty and gives you like a really gorgeous golden glow. Lastly, for my lips, I'm going to go in with one of my all-time favorite classic shades from Au Naturel. This is their Sustain Lip Stain in the shade On Point. This is a really pretty dusty mauve, I think is how they describe it. These do not dry completely matte, but I like how comfortable they feel and how long wearing they are. I do feel like being a little fancy today, so I'm actually going to top that Sustain off with their High Luster Lip Gloss in the shade Deep Coral. This combo is so pretty. How have I never done this before? Got my bangs down. I'm like a whole different person now, but let me go over my thoughts about each foundation and how they compare. First, let me start with the first one I applied, which is on this side of my face, the Gressa Minimalist Serum Foundation. This one had more coverage. It is more expensive and they have a smaller shade range, but I do like the glass packaging better, although the dropper can get a little messy. The ingredients are great. Like it said, it had that Gressa Skin Healing Complex, which is really great. Like I said, if you have dry skin, make sure you exfoliate. If you have oily skin, this would work great for you. I would say if you have normal to oily skin, I would recommend the Gressa one over the Kosas foundation, but I can't really tell you how this works on oily skin because my skin is pretty normal to dry. But yeah, on my face right now, they look so similar. It's honestly like hard to tell them apart. They both have a really similar like satin matte finish to them. Like I said, they don't transfer. They don't feel oily on my skin at all. They both wear extremely well. I have a wear update on my blog about the Kosas foundation. The Gressa foundation, I find that it breaks up around my nose quite more than the Kosas one does. So if you want a little bit more of longer wear, definitely go with the Kosas one. But let me go over like the feel of this one. So this one is less expensive. It has a bigger shade range and it has a more lightweight feel to it. Like I said, it has the plastic packaging, but I do like how it has the ball in there so you can mix the pigments really well. This can dispense a little too much at a time and it gets a little messy, but both of them get messy. I guess that's just what you get for an oil foundation. So this feels more lightweight on my skin, easier to blend in. I feel like it's easier to apply as well. So if you're more on the go and like to do your makeup quickly, I would go with this one. Again, they're both so similar, it's hard to pick a favorite. I definitely love both of them. They both have their pros and cons to them. So I'd say it really just depends on your foundation preferences. If you do like more coverage, the Gressa one, obviously this one is more lightweight and quicker to apply. Like I said, they're both really great. Honestly, get samples of both of them if you're not sure which one to get. This is a newer foundation. I'll link both of them below for you guys. But yeah, I love both of these foundations. They both come with 1 ounce, so they're the same size. Again, this one is $62, I believe, and this one is $42. I'll zoom you guys in one more time just so you can see the texture on my face and how they look. So again, on this side is the Gressa foundation, and then on this side of my face is the Kosas Tinted Face Oil. They look so similar to me. The only difference I can really say is that this Gressa one looks a little bit drier and does like sink into my lines a tad bit more, but they're both very similar in finish and texture on my face. That was it for today's video. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and leave me a like and a comment below. If you guys have tried either of those foundations, please comment below what you think, because I think it would be really great to know how it works for different skin types besides my own. So comment below. That would be really helpful for everyone else watching this as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.